The Book of Jubilees, Judah's sons and Tamar, 1-7. Judah's incest with Tamar, 8-18. Tamar bears twins, 21-2. Judah forgiven because he sinned ignorantly and repented when convicted, and because Tamar's marriage with his sons had not been consummated, 23-8. Cf. Gen 38.6-18, 20-6, 29-30, Zli.13. Chapter 41. And in the 45th Jubilee, in the second week, and, in the second year, 2165 AM, Judah took for his firstborn heir, a wife from the daughters of Aram, named Tamar. But he hated and did not lie with her, because his mother was of the daughters of Canaan, and he wished to take him a wife of the kinsfolk of his mother, but Judah, his father, would not permit him. And this heir, the firstborn of Judah, was wicked, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, his brother, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her, and raise up seed unto thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed would not be his, but his brother's only, and he went into the house of his brother's wife, and spilt the seed on the ground, and he was wicked in the eyes of the Lord, and he slew him. And Judah said unto Tamar his daughter-in-law, Remain in thy father's house as a widow till Shelah my son be grown up, and I shall give thee to him to wife. And he grew up, but Bethuel, the wife of Judah, did not permit her son Shelah to marry. And Bethuel, the wife of Judah, died 2168 AM, in the 5th year of this week. And in the 6th year Judah went up to shear his sheep at Timnah, 2169 AM. And they told Tamar, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnah to shear his sheep. And she put off her widow's clothes, and put on a veil, and adorned herself, and sat in the gate adjoining the way to Timnah. And as Judah was going along he found her, and thought her to be an harlot, and he said unto her, Let me come in unto thee. And she said unto him, Come in. And he went in, and she said unto him, Give me my hire. And he said unto her, I have nothing in my hand save my ring that is on my finger, and my necklace, and my staff which is in my hand. And she said unto him, Give them to me until thou dost send me my hire. And he said unto her, I will send unto thee a kid of the goats. And he gave them to her, and he went in unto her, and she conceived by him. And Judah went unto his sheep, and she went to her father's house. And Judah sent a kid of the goats by the hand of his shepherd, an Adullamite, and he found her not. And he asked the people of the place, saying, Where is the harlot who was here? And they said unto him, There is no harlot here with us. And he returned and informed him, and said unto him that he had not found her. I asked the people of the place, and they said unto me, There is no harlot here. And he said, Let her keep them, lest we become a cause of derision. And when she had completed 3 months, it was manifest that she was with child, and they told Judah, saying, Behold, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, is with child by whoredom. And Judah went to the house of her father, and said unto her father and her brothers, Bring her forth, and let them burn her, for she hath wrought uncleanness in Israel. And it came to pass when they brought her forth to burn her, that she sent to her father-in-law the ring and the necklace, and the staff, saying, Discern, whose are these, for by him am I with child. And Judah acknowledged and said, Tamar is more righteous than I am, and therefore let them burn her not. And for that reason she was not given to Shelah, and he did not again approach her. And after that she bare 2 sons, Perez, 2170 M, and Zerah, in the 7th year of this 2nd week. And thereupon the 7 years of fruitfulness were accomplished, of which Joseph spake to Pharaoh. And Judah acknowledged that the deed which he had done was evil. For he had lain with his daughter-in-law, and he esteemed it hateful in his eyes, and he acknowledged that he had transgressed and gone astray, for he had uncovered the skirt of his son, and he began to lament and to supplicate before the Lord because of his transgression. And we told him in a dream that it was forgiven him because he supplicated earnestly and lamented, and did not again commit it. And he received forgiveness because he turned from his sin and from his ignorance, for he transgressed greatly before our God. And every one that acts thus, every one who lies with his mother-in-law, let them burn him with fire that he may burn therein, for there is uncleanness and pollution upon them, with fire let them burn them. And do thou command the children of Israel that there be no uncleanness amongst them, for every one who lies with his daughter-in-law or with his mother-in-law hath wrought uncleanness. With fire let them burn the man who has lain with her, and likewise the woman, and he will turn away wrath and punishment from Israel. And unto Judah we said that his 2 sons had not lain with her, and for this reason his seed was stablished for a 2nd generation, and would not be rooted out. For in singleness of eye he had gone and sought for punishment, namely, according to the judgment of Abraham, which he had commanded his sons, Judah had sought to burn her with fire. Owing to the famine, Jacob sends his sons to Egypt for corn 1-4. Joseph recognizes them and retains Simeon, and requires them to bring Benjamin when they returned 5-12. Notwithstanding Jacob's reluctance, his sons take Benjamin with them on their second journey and are entertained by Joseph 13-25. Cf. Gens Lie.54, 56, 42.7-9, 13, 17, 20, 24-5, 29-30, 34-8, 43.1-2, 4-5, 8-9, 11, 15, 23, 26, 29, 34, 44. 1-2. Chapter 42. And in the first year of the third week of the 45th Jubilee the famine began to come into the 2171 am land, and the rain refused to be given to the earth, for none whatever fell. And the earth grew barren, but in the land of Egypt there was food, for Joseph had gathered the seed of the land in the 7 years of plenty and had preserved it. And the Egyptians came to Joseph that he might give them food, and he opened the storehouses where was the grain of the first year, and he sold it to the people of the land for gold. Now the famine was very sore in the land of Canaan, and Jacob heard that there was food in Egypt, and he sent his 10 sons that they should procure food for him in Egypt. But Benjamin he did not send, and the 10 sons of Jacob arrived in Egypt among those that went there. And Joseph recognized them, but they did not recognize him, and he spake unto them and questioned them, and he said unto them, Are ye not spies, and have ye not come to explore the approaches of the land? And he put them in ward. And after that he set them free again, and detained Simeon alone, and sent off his 9 brothers. And he filled their sacks with corn, and he put their gold in their sacks, and they did not know. And he commanded them to bring their younger brother, for they had told him their father was living, and their younger brother. And they went up from the land of Egypt, and they came to the land of Canaan. And they told their father all that had befallen them, and how the Lord of the country had spoken roughly to them, and had seized Simeon till they should bring Benjamin. And Jacob said, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon also is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. On me has your wickedness come. And he said, My son will not go down with you, lest perchance he fall sick, for their mother gave birth to 2 sons, and one has perished, and this one also ye will take from me. If perchance he took a fever on the road, ye would bring down my old age with sorrow unto death. For he saw that their money had been returned to every man in his sack, and for this reason he feared to send him. And the famine increased and became sore in the land of Canaan, and in all lands save in the land of Egypt. For many of the children of the Egyptians had stored up their seed for food from the time when they saw Joseph gathering seed together and putting it in storehouses and preserving it for the years of famine. And the people of Egypt fed themselves thereon during the first year of their famine. But when Israel saw that the famine was very sore in the land, and that there was no deliverance, he said unto his sons, Go again and procure food for us that we die not. And they said, We shall not go, unless our youngest brother go with us, we shall not go. And Israel saw that if he did not send him with them, they should all perish by reason of the famine. And Reuben said, Give him into my hand, and if I do not bring him back to thee, slay my 2 sons instead of his soul. And he said unto him, He shall not go with thee. And Judah came near and said, Send him with me, and if I do not bring him back to thee, let me bear the blame before thee all the days of my life. And he sent him with them in the 2nd year of this week on the 2172 am, first day of the month. And they came to the land of Egypt with all those who went, and they had presents in their hands, stacte and almonds and terebinth nuts and pure honey. And they went and stood before Joseph, and he saw Benjamin his brother, and he knew him, and said unto them, Is this your youngest brother? And they said unto him, It is he. And he said, The Lord be gracious to thee, my son. And he sent him into his house, and he brought forth Simeon unto them, and he made a feast for them, and they presented to him the gift which they had brought in their hands. And they eat before him, and he gave them all a portion, but the portion of Benjamin was 7 times larger than that of any of theirs. And they eat and drank and arose and remained with their asses. And Joseph devised a plan whereby he might learn their thoughts as to whether thoughts of peace prevailed amongst them. And he said to the steward who was over his house, Fill all their sacks with food, and return their money unto them into their vessels. And my cup, the silver cup out of which I drink, put it in the sack of the youngest, and send them away. Joseph's plan to stay his brethren 1-10. Judah's supplication 11-13. Joseph makes himself known to his brethren and sends them back for his father 14-24. Cf. Gen 44.3-10, 12-18, 27-8, 30-2. XLV.1-2, 5-9, 12, 18, 20-1, 23, 25-8. Chapter 43. And he did as Joseph had told him, and filled all their sacks for them with food, and put their money in their sacks, and put the cup in Benjamin's sack. And early in the morning they departed, and it came to pass that, when they had gone from thence, Joseph said unto the steward of his house, Pursue them, run and seize them, saying, For good ye have requited me with evil. You have stolen from me the silver cup out of which my Lord drinks. And bring back to me their youngest brother, and fetch him quickly before I go forth to my seat of judgment. And he ran after them and said unto them according to these words. And they said unto him, God forbid that thy servants should do this thing, and steal from the house of thy Lord any utensil, and the money also which we found in our sacks the first time, we thy servants brought back from the land of Canaan. How then should we steal any utensil? Behold, here are we in our sacks, search, and wherever thou findest the cup in the sack of any man amongst us, let him be slain, and we and our asses will serve thy Lord. And he said unto them, Not so, the man with whom I find, him only shall I take as a servant, and ye shall return in peace unto your house. And as he was searching in their vessels, beginning with the eldest and ending with the youngest, it was found in Benjamin's sack. And they rent their garments, and laded their asses, and returned to the city, and came to the house of Joseph, and they all bowed themselves on their faces to the ground before him. And Joseph said unto them, Ye have done evil. And they said, What shall we say, and how shall we defend ourselves? Our Lord hath discovered the transgression of his servants. Behold, we are the servants of our Lord, and our asses also. And Joseph said unto them, I too fear the Lord. As for you, go ye to your homes, and let your brother be my servant, for ye have done evil. Know ye not that a man delights in his cup as I with this cup? And yet ye have stolen it from me. And Judah said, O my Lord, let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ear. 2 brothers did thy servant's mother bear to our father. One went away and was lost, and hath not been found, and he alone is left of his mother, and thy servant our father loves him, and his life also is bound up with the life of this lad. And it will come to pass, when we go to thy servant our father, and the lad is not with us, that he will die, and we shall bring down our father with sorrow unto death. Now rather let me, thy servant, abide instead of the boy as a bondsman unto my Lord, and let the lad go with his brethren, for I became surety for him at the hand of thy servant our father, and if I do not bring him back, thy servant will hear the blame to our father forever. And Joseph saw that they were all accordant in goodness one with another, and he could not refrain himself, and he told them that he was Joseph. And he conversed with them in the Hebrew tongue, and fell on their neck and wept. But they knew him not, and they began to weep. And he said unto them, Weep not over me, but hasten and bring my father to me, and ye see that it is my mouth that speaketh, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see. For behold, this is the 2nd year of the famine, and there are still 5 years without harvest or fruit of trees or plowing. Come down quickly, ye and your households, so that ye perish not through the famine, and do not be grieved for your possessions. For the Lord sent me before you to set things in order that many people might live. And tell my father that I am still alive, and ye, behold, ye see that the Lord has made me as a father to Pharaoh, and ruler over his house and over all the land of Egypt. And tell my father of all my glory, and all the riches and glory that the Lord hath given me. And by the command of the mouth of Pharaoh he gave them chariots and provisions for the way, and he gave them all many-colored raiment and silver. And to their father he sent raiment and silver and 10 asses which carried corn, and he sent them away. And they went up and told their father that Joseph was alive, and was measuring out corn to all the nations of the earth, and that he was ruler over all the land of Egypt. And their father did not believe it, for he was beside himself in his mind. But when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent, the life of his spirit revived, and he said, It is enough for me if Joseph lives. I will go down and see him before I die. Jacob celebrates the feast of firstfruits, and encouraged by a vision goes down to Egypt. 1-10. Names of his descendants 11-34. Cf. Gen 46.1-28. Chapter 44. And Israel took his journey from Haran from his house on the new moon of the 3rd month, and he went on the way of the well of the oath, and he offered a sacrifice to the God of his father Isaac on the 7th of this month. And Jacob remembered the dream that he had seen at Bethel, and he feared to go down into Egypt. And while he was thinking of sending word to Joseph to come to him, and that he would not go down, he remained there 7 days, if perchance he could see a vision as to whether he should remain or go down. And he celebrated the harvest festival of the first fruits with old grain, for in all the land of Canaan there was not a handful of seed in the land, for the famine was over all the beasts and cattle and birds, and also over man. And on the 16th the Lord appeared unto him, and said unto him, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here am I. And he said unto him, I am the God of thy fathers, the God of Abraham and Isaac. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation. I will go down with thee, and I will bring thee up again, and in this land shalt thou be buried, and Joseph shall put his hands upon thy eyes. Fear not, go down into Egypt. And his sons rose up, and his sons' sons, and they placed their father and their possessions upon wagons. And Israel rose up from the well of the oath on the 16th of this 3rd month, and he went to the land of Egypt. And Israel sent Judah before him to his son Joseph to examine the land of Goshen, for Joseph had told his brothers that they should come and dwell there, that they might be near him. And this was the goodliest land in the land of Egypt, and near to him for all of them, and also for the cattle. And these are the names of the sons of Jacob who went into Egypt with Jacob their father. Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, and these are the names of his sons Enoch and Palu and Hezron and Carmi 5. Simeon and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Jemuel and Jamin and Ohad and Jachin and Zohar and Shaul the son of the Zephathite woman 7. Levi and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Gershon and Kohath and Merari 4. Judah and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Shelah and Perez and Zerah 4. Issachar and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Tola and Phua and Jasub and Shimron 5. Zebulun and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Seard and Elon and Yalil 4. And these are the sons of Jacob and their sons whom Leah bore to Jacob in Mesopotamia 6, and their one sister, Dinah, and all the souls of the sons of Leah, and their sons who went with Jacob their father into Egypt, were 29, and Jacob their father being with them, they were 30. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, the wife of Jacob, who bore unto Jacob Gad and Asher. And these are the names of their sons who went with him into Egypt. The sons of Gad, Ziphion and Haggi and Shuni and Esbon and Eri and Areli and Arodi 8. And the sons of Asher, Imnah and Ishva and Ishvi and Beriah and Sarah their one sister 6. All the souls were 14, and all those of Leah were 44. And the sons of Rachel, the wife of Jacob, Joseph and Benjamin. And there were born to Joseph in Egypt before his father came into Egypt, those whom Asenath, daughter of Potiphar priest of Heliopolis, bare unto him, Manasseh and Ephraim. 3. And the sons of Benjamin, Bela and Becher and Ashbel, Gera and Naaman and Ahi and Rosh and Muppim and Huppim and Ard 11. And all the souls of Rachel were 14. And the sons of Bilhah, the handmaid of Rachel, the wife of Jacob, whom she bare to Jacob, were Dan and Naphtali. And these are the names of their sons who went with them into Egypt. And the sons of Dan were Hushim and Saman and Asudi, and Ijaka and Salomon 6. And they died the year in which they entered into Egypt, and there was left to Dan Hushim alone. And these are the names of the sons of Naphtali, Jaziel and Guni and Jezer and Shalom and Iv. And Iv, who was born after the years of famine, died in Egypt. And all the souls of Rachel were 26. And all the souls of Jacob which went into Egypt were 70 souls. These are his children and his children's children, in all 70, but 5 died in Egypt before Joseph, and had no children. And in the land of Canaan 2 sons of Judah died, Er and Onan, and they had no children. And the children of Israel buried those who perished, and they were reckoned among the 70 Gentile nations.
Chapter 45. And Israel went into the country of Egypt, into the land of Goshen, on the new moon of the 4th, 2172 a.m. month, in the 2nd year of the 3rd week of the 45th Jubilee. And Joseph went to meet his father Jacob, to the land of Goshen, and he fell on his father's neck and wept. And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen thee, and now may the Lord God of Israel be blessed, the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac, who hath not withheld his mercy and his grace from his servant Jacob. It is enough for me that I have seen thy face whilst I am yet alive. Yea, True is the vision which I saw at Bethel. Blessed be the Lord my God forever and ever, and blessed be his name. And Joseph and his brothers eat bread before their father and drank wine. And Jacob rejoiced with exceeding great joy because he saw Joseph eating with his brothers and drinking before him. And he blessed the Creator of all things who had preserved him, and had preserved for him his 12 sons. And Joseph had given to his father and to his brothers as a gift the right of dwelling in the land of Goshen and in Ramesses and all the region round about, which he ruled over before Pharaoh. And Israel and his sons dwelt in the land of Goshen, the best part of the land of Egypt, and Israel was 130 years old when he came into Egypt. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and also their possessions with bread as much as sufficed them for the 7 years of the famine. And the land of Egypt suffered by reason of the famine, and Joseph acquired all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh in return for food, and he got possession of the people and their cattle and everything for Pharaoh. And the years of the famine were accomplished, and Joseph gave to the people in the land seed and food that they might sow the land in the 8th year, for the river had overflowed all the land of Egypt. For in the 7 years of the famine it had not overflowed and had irrigated only a few places on the banks of the river, but now it overflowed, and the Egyptians sowed the land, and it bore much corn that year. And this was the 1st year of 2178 AM, the 4th week of the 45th Jubilee. And Joseph took of the corn of the harvest the 5th part for the king, and left 4 parts for them for food and for seed, and Joseph made it an ordinance for the land of Egypt until this day. And Israel lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, and all the days which he lived were 3 jubilees, 147 years, and he died in the 4th, 2188 AM year of the 5th week of the 45th Jubilee. And Israel blessed his sons before he died, and told them everything that would befall them in the land of Egypt. And he made known to them what would come upon them in the last days, and blessed them, and gave to Joseph 2 portions in the land. And he slept with his fathers, and he was buried in the double cave in the land of Canaan, near Abraham his father, in the grave which he dug for himself in the double cave in the land of Hebron. And he gave all his books and the books of his fathers to Levi his son, that he might preserve them and renew them for his children until this day. Chapter 46. And it came to pass that after Jacob died, the children of Israel multiplied in the land of Egypt, and they became a great nation, and they were of one accord in heart, so that brother loved brother, and every man helped his brother, and they increased abundantly and multiplied exceedingly 10, 22, 42 weeks of years, all the days of the life of Joseph. And there was no Satan nor any evil all the days of the life of Joseph which he lived after his father Jacob, for all the Egyptians honored the children of Israel all the days of the life of Joseph. And Joseph died being 110 years old. 17 years he lived in the land of Canaan, and 10 years he was a servant, and 3 years in prison, and 80 years he was under the king, ruling all the land of Egypt. And he died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And he commanded the children of Israel before he died that they should carry his bones with them when they went forth from the land of Egypt. And he made them swear regarding his bones, for he knew that the Egyptians would not again bring forth and bury him in the land of Canaan. For Machamaron, king of Canaan, while dwelling in the land of Assyria, fought in the valley with the king of Egypt, and slew him there, and pursued after the Egyptians to the gates of Ermin. But he was not able to enter, for another, a new king, had become king of Egypt, and he was stronger than he, and he returned to the land of Canaan, and the gates of Egypt were closed, and none went out and none came into Egypt. And Joseph died in the 46th Jubilee, in the 6th week, in the 2nd year, and they buried him in the land of Egypt, and 2242 AM, all his brethren died after him. And the king of Egypt went forth to war with the king of Canaan, 2263 AM, in the 47th Jubilee, in the 2nd week in the 2nd year, and the children of Israel brought forth all the bones of the children of Jacob save the bones of Joseph, and they buried them in the field in the double cave in the mountain. And the most of them returned to Egypt, but a few of them remained in the mountains of Hebron, and Amram thy father remained with them. And the king of Canaan was victorious over the king of Egypt, and he closed the gates of Egypt. And he devised an evil device against the children of Israel of afflicting them, and he said unto the people of Egypt, Behold, the people of the children of Israel have increased and multiplied more than we. Come, and let us deal wisely with them before they become too many, and let us afflict them with slavery before war come upon us, and before they too fight against us. Else they will join themselves unto our enemies, and get them up out of our land, for their hearts and faces are towards the land of Canaan. And he set over them taskmasters to afflict them with slavery, and they built strong cities for Pharaoh, Pithom, and Ramses, and they built all the walls and all the fortifications which had fallen in the cities of Egypt. And they made them serve with rigor, and the more they dealt evilly with them, the more they increased and multiplied. And the people of Egypt abominated the children of Israel. Chapter 47. And in the 7th week, in the 7th year, in the 47th Jubilee, thy father went forth, 2303 from the land of Canaan, and thou wast born in the 4th week, in the 6th year thereof, in the 2330 48th Jubilee. This was the time of tribulation on the children of Israel. And Pharaoh, king of Egypt, issued a command regarding them that they should cast all their male children which were born into the river. And they cast them in for 7 months until the day that thou wast born. And thy mother hid thee for 3 months, and they told regarding her. And she made an ark for thee, and covered it with pitch and asphalt, and placed it in the flags on the bank of the river. And she placed thee in it 7 days, and thy mother came by night and suckled thee, and by day Miriam, thy sister, guarded thee from the birds. And in those days Tharmith, the daughter of Pharaoh, came to bathe in the river, and she heard thy voice crying, and she told her maidens to bring thee forth, and they brought thee unto her. And she took thee out of the ark, and she had compassion on thee. And thy sister said unto her, Shall I go and call unto thee one of the Hebrew women to nurse and suckle this babe for thee? And she said unto her, Go. And she went and called thy mother Jochebed, and she gave her wages, and she nursed thee. And afterwards, when thou wast grown up, they brought thee unto the daughter of Pharaoh, and thou didst become her son, and Amram thy father taught thee writing. And after thou hadst completed 3 weeks, they brought thee into the royal court. And thou wast 3 weeks of years at court until the time 2351 when thou didst go forth from the royal court and didst see an Egyptian smiting thy friend who was 2372 of the children of Israel, and thou didst slay him and hide him in the sand. And on the 2nd day thou didst and 2 of the children of Israel striving together, and thou didst say to him who was doing the wrong, Why dost thou smite thy brother? And he was angry and indignant, and said, Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Thinkest thou to kill me as thou killedst the Egyptian yesterday? And thou didst fear and flee on account of these words. Chapter 48. And in the 6th year of the 3rd week of the 49th Jubilee thou didst depart and dwell, in 2372 the land of Midian, 5 weeks and 1 year. And thou didst return into Egypt in the 2nd week in the 2nd year in the 50th Jubilee. And thou thyself knowest what he spake unto thee on 2410 Mount Sinai, and what Prince Mastema desired to do with thee when thou wast returning into Egypt, on the way when thou didst meet him at the lodging place. Did he not with all his power seek to slay thee and deliver the Egyptians out of thy hand when he saw that thou wast sent to execute judgment and vengeance on the Egyptians? And I delivered thee out of his hand, and thou didst perform the signs and wonders which thou wast sent to perform in Egypt against Pharaoh, and against all his house, and against his servants and his people. And the Lord executed a great vengeance on them for Israel's sake, and smote them through the plagues of blood and frogs, lice and dogflies, and malignant boils breaking forth in blains, and their cattle by death, and by hailstones. Thereby he destroyed everything that grew for them, and by locusts which devoured the residue which had been left by the hail, and by darkness, and by the death of the firstborn of men and animals. And on all their idols the Lord took vengeance and burned them with fire. And everything was sent through thy hand, that thou shouldst declare these things before they were done. And thou didst speak with the king of Egypt before all his servants and before his people. And everything took place according to thy words. 10 great and terrible judgments came on the land of Egypt, that thou mightest execute vengeance on it for Israel. And the Lord did everything for Israel's sake, and according to his covenant, which he had ordained with Abraham, that he would take vengeance on them as they had brought them by force into bondage. And the Prince Mastema stood up against thee, and sought to cast thee into the hands of Pharaoh, and he helped the Egyptian sorcerers. And they stood up and wrought before thee the evils indeed we permitted them to work, but the remedies we did not allow to be wrought by their hands. And the Lord smote them with malignant ulcers, and they were not able to stand, for we destroyed them so that they could not perform a single sign. And notwithstanding all his signs and wonders, the Prince Mastema was not put to shame, because he took courage and cried to the Egyptians to pursue after thee with all the powers of the Egyptians, with their chariots, and with their horses, and with all the hosts of the peoples of Egypt. And I stood between the Egyptians and Israel, and we delivered Israel out of his hand, and out of the hand of his people, and the Lord brought them through the midst of the sea as if it were dry land. And all the peoples whom he brought to pursue after Israel, the Lord our God cast them into the midst of the sea, into the depths of the abyss beneath the children of Israel, even as the people of Egypt had cast their children into the river. He took vengeance on 1,000,000 of them, and 1,000 strong and energetic men were destroyed on account of one suckling of the children of thy people which they had thrown into the river. And on the 14th day, and on the 15th, and on the 16th, and on the 17th, and on the 18th, the Prince Mastema was bound and imprisoned behind the children of Israel, that he might not accuse them. And on the 19th we let them loose, that they might help the Egyptians and pursue the children of Israel. And he hardened their hearts and made them stubborn, and the device was devised by the Lord our God, that he might smite the Egyptians and cast them into the sea. And on the 14th we bound him, that he might not accuse the children of Israel on the day when they asked the Egyptians for vessels and garments, vessels of silver, and vessels of gold, and vessels of bronze, in order to despoil the Egyptians in return for the bondage in which they had forced them to serve. And we did not lead forth the children of Israel from Egypt empty-handed. The Passover, regulations regarding its celebration. Cf. Exodus 12.6, 9, 11, 13, 22-3, 30, 46, 15.22. Chapter 49. Remember the commandment which the Lord commanded thee concerning the Passover, that thou shouldst celebrate it in its season on the 14th of the first month, that thou shouldst kill it before it is evening, and that they should eat it by night on the evening of the 15th from the time of the setting of the sun. For on this night, the beginning of the festival and the beginning of the joy, ye were eating the Passover in Egypt, when all the powers of Mastema had been let loose to slay all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh to the firstborn of the captive maidservant in the mill, and to the cattle. And this is the sign which the Lord gave them. Into every house on the lintels of which they saw the blood of a lamb of the first year, into that house they should not enter to slay, but should pass by, that all those should be saved that were in the house, because the sign of the blood was on its lintels. And the powers of the Lord did everything according as the Lord commanded them, and they passed by all the children of Israel, and the plague came not upon them to destroy from amongst them any soul either of cattle, or man, or dog. And the plague was very grievous in Egypt, and there was no house in Egypt where there was not one dead, and weeping and lamentation. And all Israel was eating the flesh of the paschal lamb, and drinking the wine, and was lauding and blessing, and giving thanks to the Lord God of their fathers, and was ready to go forth from under the yoke of Egypt, and from the evil bondage. And remember thou this day all the days of thy life, and observe it from year to year all the days of thy life, once a year on its day, according to all the law thereof, and do not adjourn, from day to day, or from month to month. For it is an eternal ordinance, and engraven on the heavenly tablets regarding all the children of Israel, that they should observe it every year on its day once a year, throughout all their generations. And there is no limit of days, for this is ordained forever. And the man who is free from uncleanness, and does not come to observe it on occasion of its day, so as to bring an acceptable offering before the Lord, and to eat and to drink before the Lord on the day of its festival, that man who is clean and close at hand shall be cut off. because he offered not the oblation of the Lord in its appointed season, he shall take the guilt upon himself. Let the children of Israel come and observe the Passover on the day of its fixed time, on the 14th day of the first month, between the evenings, from the third part of the day to the third part of the night. For 2 portions of the day are given to the light, and a third part to the evening. This is that which the Lord commanded thee, that thou shouldst observe it between the evenings. And it is not permissible to slay it during any period of the light, but during the period bordering on the evening, and let them eat it at the time of the evening until the third part of the night, and whatever is left over of all its flesh from the third part of the night and onwards, let them burn it with fire. And they shall not cook it with water, nor shall they eat it raw, but roast on the fire. They shall eat it with diligence, its head with the inwards thereof, and its feet they shall roast with fire, and not break any bone thereof. For of the children of Israel no bone shall be crushed. For this reason the Lord commanded the children of Israel to observe the Passover on the day of its fixed time, and they shall not break a bone thereof. For it is a festival day, and a day commanded, and there may be no passing over from day to day and month to month, but on the day of its festival let it be observed. And do thou command the children of Israel to observe the Passover throughout their days, every year, once a year on the day of its fixed time, and it shall come for a memorial well-pleasing before the Lord, and no plague shall come upon them to slay or to smite in that year in which they celebrate the Passover in its season in every respect according to his command. And they shall not eat it outside the sanctuary of the Lord, but before the sanctuary of the Lord, and all the people of the congregation of Israel shall celebrate it in its appointed season. And every man who has come upon its day shall eat it in the sanctuary of your God before the Lord from 20 years old and upward. For thus is it written and ordained that they should eat it in the sanctuary of the Lord. And when the children of Israel come into the land which they are to possess, into the land of Canaan, and set up the tabernacle of the Lord in the midst of the land in one of their tribes until the sanctuary of the Lord has been built in the land, let them come and celebrate the Passover in the midst of the tabernacle of the Lord, and let them slay it before the Lord from year to year. And in the days when the house has been built in the name of the Lord in the land of their inheritance, they shall go there and slay the Passover in the evening, at sunset, at the third part of the day. And they shall offer its blood on the threshold of the altar, and shall place its fat on the fire which is upon the altar, and they shall eat its flesh roasted with fire in the court of the house which has been sanctified in the name of the Lord. And they may not celebrate the Passover in their cities, nor in any place save before the tabernacle of the Lord, or before his house where his name hath dwelt, and they shall not go astray from the Lord. And do thou, Moses, command the children of Israel to observe the ordinances of the Passover, as it was commanded unto thee. Declare thou unto them every year and the day of its days, and the festival of unleavened bread, that they should eat unleavened bread 7 days, and that they should observe its festival, and that they bring an oblation every day during those 7 days of joy before the Lord on the altar of your God. For ye celebrated this festival with haste when ye went forth from Egypt till ye entered into the wilderness of Shur, for on the shore of the sea ye completed it. The Book of Jubilees. Laws regarding the Jubilees, 1-5, and the Sabbath, 6-13. Chapter 50. And after this law I made known to thee the days of the Sabbaths in the desert of Sinai, which is between Elim and Sinai. And I told thee of the Sabbaths of the land on Mount Sinai, and I told thee of the Jubilee years in the Sabbaths of years. But the year thereof have I not told thee till ye enter the land which ye are to possess. And the land also shall keep its Sabbaths while they dwell upon it, and they shall know the Jubilee year. Wherefore I have ordained for thee the year weeks and the years and the Jubilees. There are 49 Jubilees from the days of Adam until this day, 2410 a.m., and 1 week and 2 years, and there are yet 40 years to come, distant, for learning the 2450 a.m. commandments of the Lord, until they pass over into the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan to the west. And the Jubilees shall pass by, until Israel is cleansed from all guilt of fornication and uncleanness and pollution and sin and error, and dwells with confidence in all the land, and there shall be no more a Satan or any evil one. and the land shall be clean from that time forevermore. And behold, the commandment regarding the Sabbaths I have written down for thee, and all the judgments of its laws. 6 days shalt thou labor, but on the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it ye shall do no manner of work, ye and your sons, and your men servants and your maidservants, and all your cattle, and the sojourner also who is with you. And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whoever desecrates that day, whoever lies with his wife, or whoever says he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling, and whoever draws water thereon which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house shall die. Ye shall do no work whatever on the Sabbath day, save what ye have prepared for yourselves on the 6th day, so as to eat and drink and rest, and keep Sabbath from all work on that day, and to bless the Lord your God, who has given you a day of festival and a holy day, and a day of the holy kingdom for all Israel is this day among their days forever. For great is the honor which the Lord has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this festival day, and rest thereon from all labor which belongs to the labor of the children of men, save burning frankincense and bringing oblations and sacrifices before the Lord for days and for Sabbaths. This work alone shall be done on the Sabbath days in the sanctuary of the Lord your God, that they may atone for Israel with sacrifice continually from day to day for a memorial well-pleasing before the Lord, and that he may receive them always from day to day according as thou hast been commanded. And every man who does any work thereon, or goes a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, and whoever strikes or kills anything, or slaughters a beast or a bird, or whoever catches an animal or a bird or a fish, or whoever fasts or makes war on the Sabbaths. The man who does any of these things on the Sabbath shall die, so that the children of Israel shall observe the Sabbaths according to the commandments regarding the Sabbaths of the land, as it is written in the tablets, which he gave into my hands, that I should write out for thee the laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the division of their days. Herewith is completed the account of the division of the days.